And maybe the question wants to press me a little bit more, but you could do what you want.
Another question asked about faith. And by offering a reason for faith, are you in a way undermining the leap of faith, which is the value of faith? That there's something to be said for just saying, you know, forget about the reasoning, forget about the evidence. I believe, period. Don't give me any reasons. I want to hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. It's a great question. No, seriously. No, I mean, basically, all arguments for almost anything are rationally avoidable. I mean, my understanding, and I think an awful lot of philosophers would say the same thing, that almost any line of reasoning about anything is rationally avoidable. So rational people, smart people, can resist almost any line of reasoning. So you can't prove God or Christianity, which means if you decide that Christianity makes more sense than non-belief in God. See, the purpose of the book is to say human rights make more sense if there's a God than if not. That is to say, if there is a God, of course it makes sense that people would have individual rights. If we just are the product of natural selection, you could still believe that, but probably it would make more sense than if people were all made with dignity by a God. Okay. Now, if you decide that Christianity makes more sense, it doesn't mean that you've proved it. And therefore, when it comes right down to it, applying it takes a great deal of faith. Actually, C.S. Lewis uses this great illustration. He says, if you're a woman and you were told by somebody, you're going out on a date with this really great-looking guy, but don't tell him anything at all that you don't want spread all around because he's a gossip. So your friend tells you, you know, you're the woman, your friend says, please, I know from experience, everybody is, okay, I understand. I said, don't tell him anything. But you get out there and you actually start to fall under his spell to a degree, and you remember what your mind says, but you really want to ingratiate yourself, so you tell him a little secret. Next thing you know, a week later it's all over the town. And what he says is it's actually not at all easy, even when you're fairly sure of something being true, of actually living it out. And so even if you come to decide, I think Christianity is true, I think it's more reasonable than any other way of looking at things, it certainly isn't utterly provable, so it takes faith to even hold to it, and it takes an enormous amount of faith to practice it. And therefore, almost everything we believe is a combination of faith and reason, and it doesn't take anything at all away to say Christianity is rational. And if you don't like that illustration, you can turn it around and say, you're the guy.
Well, what about atheism?
Okay.